ready.
Start your loading. Let's Robotica out.
Get ready.
Let's do it.
Welcome to Robotica Season 3. To go all the way, our builders and their bots will have to tame the gauntlet, vanquish the labyrinth, and survive the fight to the finish. I'm your host, Ahmed Zappa, and please welcome Little Red Robot Hood herself, Tanya Mendel.
Ah, thank you, Ahmed. And like the man said, Robotica is back, and the third time's the charm. Let's meet our first set of competitors.
Now, entering the arena, cross-multiply this tank with a Swiss Army knife, and you've got yourself a most uncommon Denominator. This 200-pound robot's tracks utilize a banded V-belt to increase traction. Should this monster get flipped on its back, no problem. These treads will dig in on either side, and its CO2-driven actuators swing a variety of deadly weapons, from a hook to an axe.
And Denominator's creator is Chuck Bagby.
We're bot busters. Our robot's a denominator. We're going to divide them up and split them into pieces.
And his opponent. If you're looking for a massive robot with a mean disposition, look no further. It's JUGGERBOT 3.0. This third-generation bot cut weight by swapping titanium parts for aerospace alloy aluminum and moved the direct drive gearbox outward to allow more room down the robot's middle to free up space for their new weapon, a lightning-fast pneumatic flipper.
And JUGGERBOT 3.0 was created by Mike Morrow.
JUGGERBOT 3.0 is the next generation of robotic destruction. This bot's going to go all the way.
We call this monstrosity the Gauntlet, and if your robot can survive it, then you've got half a chance of moving on. And it goes like this. Bust through the wood, pummel the cans, beat the bricks, and waste the blocks. Then it's past the piles, up the ramp, and through the glass to take the thing.
And before we begin the game, I'd like to introduce our Robotica science correspondent. He's a robot builder, a software engineer, and electronics guru. Please welcome Dan Denknick.
Thanks, Tanya. JUGGERBOT is a perfect machine for the Gauntlet because of its incredible power and perfectly sized wheels. Plus, its driver Mike Morrow is very experienced. Now, Chuck Bagby is a relative newcomer, and it's going to be tough for Denominator to win this event. But he does have a chance. If Denominator can put himself in the position of being a bigger obstacle than the bricks or the stones, he might force JUGGERBOT to experience an electrical or mechanical failure. So it might all come down to strategy.
Thank you, Dan. Our robots are now in place. It's time to begin. I christen thee in the name of Robotica Season 3. Begin.
Robots ready.
And the veteran JUGGERBOT passed through two obstacles. Denominators into the cans, a bit high center there. JUGGERBOT's around turn one, heading into the bricks. Here's the JUGGERBOT cam, sweet baby, and bam, through the blocks. He's halfway around.
Denominator added cleats to his treads, but he's still having clearance problems.
Here's the Denominator cam. Ooh, right into JUGGERBOT. JUGGERBOT stole the concrete wall. I think Denominator's got the bricks, though. Another hit. JUGGERBOT gets under him. Denominator throws a trend. Oh, yeah, JUGGERBOT pulled it clean off now. JUGGERBOT's headed down the last leg.
Ahmed, it was those cleats that caught JUGGERBOT's will, and they pulled the entire tread off its rollers. This is quite a backfire for Chuck Bagby's team. He knew he needed help with that ground clearance, but those cleats were just too flimsy a solution.
JUGGERBOT, meanwhile, is back at the starting point, getting poised for the ramp. And he's up and he's breaking the force of glass. Dad, look at that.
Yeah, but look over here. Denominator is done for without that tread. He's lost one side, and Chuck Bagby knows he's going nowhere.
JUGGERBOT 3.0 is taking out the glass with precision. There's the JUGGERBOT cam. No wasted movements from Mike Morrow's driver. Down to 7 panes. A little bit too gentle there. Still gets it. Denominator raising that axe. Maybe you ought to have a white flag on the end of that thing instead. There's 2 more for JUGGERBOT. Tom Beretti is having too much fun. Look at that grin. No way is this robot going up the edge. The JUGGERBOT team is far too experienced to make that mistake. There's 1 pane to go. JUGGERBOT taking time. Oh, and there it is. Here comes the bonus pain. Juggerbot, this new generation bot, has owned the new generation gauntlet. He does seem to be having some steering trouble, though.
Ahmed, it looks like Tom has bent the front right corner of Juggerbot's plow, and that seems to be catching in the grate.
We'll take another crack at it here. And he gets it. It wasn't pretty, but it worked. What a powerful run for Juggerbot in the gauntlet.
Ahmed, the addition of those cleats to Denominator's treads outdid the holding power of the banded V-belt. One hit from Juggerbot peeled the tread and left Denominator stranded.
And Juggerbot 3.0 takes it. So the scores look like this. It's Juggerbot 3.0 with 90 points over Denominator with 20 points. Tanya standing by with the winner.
All right, here we have Mike Morrow and his team representing Juggerbot 3. You're back from season 1. Good job.
Thanks.
Now, you started off. I wanted to know your strategy going into this. Were you trying to knock the tread off a Denominator?
No, actually, this is one of our stronger events that we really enjoy, and so we really just focused on getting through the gauntlet, and we were pleasantly surprised with our success, although we did have a few problems near the end.
Now, you guys, you took off like a rocket. Was that planned?
Oh, yeah.
There was. You had that plan. Was that your strategy?
Yeah, because we weren't too sure at the beginning there. There's some things in the floor that would catch us up, so we were aimed perfectly for it at the beginning, so just get past it as quick as possible so we don't get hung up on the first obstacle.
Which obstacle were you most worried about?
The very end with the glass falling off the edge.
That's I noticed.
Some people, I have a little habit of that.
Okay, great job, you guys. Juggerbot 3.0.
Thanks, Tanya. It's time to meet our next set of competitors. Now entering the arena.
Too wise for wheels, too tough for treads. This bot wields his weapon on aluminum feet. It's the Claw.
Weighing 200 pounds, the Claw's direct drive crankshaft creates a shuffle walk through the use of 8 aluminum foot plates. That overhead arm can reach a towering 52 inches in height, but of all his appendages, it's his hand you better watch out for. An articulated vise designed to clamp down on his opponent with titanium crushing power.
And the Claw's right-hand man is Dave Hall.
I'm with the Silicon Valley Destruction Company. Our robot is the Claw, and we're here to show that our walking robot will beat a wheeled robot any day.
And his opponent. This powerful bot travels with all the right tools. Get in a staring contest with this guy, and you better not blink. It's LOGOSEYE. LOGOSEYE's front end can tailor its weapon to its opponent's design. With a turn of a screwdriver, LOGOSEYE's spinning saw switches from a carbide-tipped blade to a 7.5-inch steel cutter. Add to that a wedge up front and an iron crossbar in the back, and you know LOGOSEYE is built to rumble.
And LOGOSEYE is the vision of Chris Gatman.
My personal motto is live hard and die laughing, and our team motto is damage is weakness leaving the robot. So as long as we have fun and smash things, we win.
Ah, yes, once again, it's time for the gauntlet.
Robots ready.
And here we go. LOGOSEYE burns through 2 obstacles. There's the LOGOSEYE cam as he heads through the bricks. Oh, the camera goes haywire through the blocks. Nice. The Claw's still struggling at the wood. He can't seem to steer straight.
Ahmed, the Claw's walking ability is generated by 2 sets of foot plates. Any change in direction is magnified, just like it would be in a 2-wheeled robot.
And LOGOSEYE's at the halfway point. Now he's stealing walls, bricks, and blocks. And there's the Claw nose to nose. Neither side looking for a fight. LOGOSEYE barrels through the rubble. Here he goes up the ramp and into the glass. Oh! Off the edge! No! Dan, why?
2 words, Ahmed, driver error. No driver last season ever got out of the pit, and LOGOSEYE isn't equipped to either.
The Claw only on the second leg of the course. He's got plenty of time to rack up points going through those rubble piles, and hope he does. Dave Hall is very calm right now. Pressure is off, still hasn't figured out those steering problems, but he's got time to learn.
And he shouldn't have trouble getting past that debris, Ahmed. You can see how low his ground clearance is, so not much will get underneath him. But he's also got those foot plates, which create more contact area of the ground than wheels do. So even if bits of brick slip under that front edge, he shouldn't get high center.
He's pushing those cans along, and he's back at the starting area. Dave Hall gaining points with ease. He's going to make this close, let me tell you.
He's going backwards up that ramp using that angled rear bumper for greater clearance.
And now he's breaking glass. Shields your eyes, kiddies. The Claw's 15 bonus points are waiting for him as long as he doesn't make the same mistake as LOGOSEYE.
Well, depending on how wide those foot plates are, he may want to avoid turning parallel to the platform grate to keep from getting stuck.
Me like the robot hand. That's sweet. That robot's bad to the bone. Looks like something that could be helping you around the house, putting away groceries and stuff. Looking through the claw cam and LOGOSEYE just hanging out in the gutter.
This has to be satisfying for Dave Hall. What could have been a real route turned into a driving practice session. And assuming he's getting the feel for his robot, he stands a much better chance of succeeding in the labyrinth.
And here goes the final pain. DeClaw has made a remarkable comeback, which he could cap with 15 bonus points right here, and yes, he does. DeClaw finishes the gauntlet. The scores will need to be tallied. It will be a close one, but what a competition.
Amit LOGOSEYE's speed, which helped him rack up all those points, proved to be his downfall with 1 second of driver error. DeClaw took advantage of the lucky break and kept the scores close.
Even though he didn't finish the gauntlet, LOGOSEYE took enough points to win the game. He stole 2 walls from his opponent to give him a final score of 80 points, beating DeClaw, who finished with 70. Tanya's down right now with the winner. Tanya?
Okay, here we have Chris Gatman and his team representing LOGOSEYE. Now, Chris, great start. You went for it, and then all of a sudden, what happened in the final moment? You're up there on the platform. What caused you to fall off the side there?
Well, I came around the corner. I couldn't see myself going up the ramp. I was afraid that the wedge was going to stick on the ramp, and then when I blinked for a second, throttle it right off the side, and that's what happened.
I got to get this story straight. You used to be on the JUGGERBOT team, didn't you?
I used to be on the JUGGERBOT team on Robotica Season 1.
What's going on?
Well, it's the team is big. There's a lot of people on it, and it was time to, we started out fighting against each other, and we're best friends, but, it's time to keep fighting against each other, so we're coming for them.
Good job. We're going on to the next round, the labyrinth.
All right.
Good job, guys.
Thank you.
So with everyone through the gauntlet, the scores look like this. JUGGERBOT leads Denominator 90-20, while LOGOSEYE is leading DeClaw 80-70. Coming up, 4 robots charge into the labyrinth, but only 2 will survive. And later, the fight to the finish is licking its chops, waiting for its next victims. Find out who will fall when Robotica continues. Robotica is far from over. We've only just begun. Robotica. Welcome back to Robotica. We just witnessed JUGGERBOT pull the tread out from under Denominator and demolish the gauntlet.
And LOGOSEYE took an early lead, but a wrong turn put him in the hole, giving DeClaw the chance he needed to keep it close. So after one event, the scores look like this. It's JUGGERBOT 3.0 leading Denominator 90-20, while LOGOSEYE leads DeClaw 80-70.
We're nearing the labyrinth, but before we get to that, we've got some business to attend to. So let's go down to the pits where Dan Danknick is standing by.
Thanks, Amit. JUGGERBOT was a powerhouse out there. Let's see what's going on, if they took any damage. Mike, anything break?
Well, we bent the wedge, but that's not really an issue because we're not going to be using that for the next event.
Well, an obvious strength of your robot is it never seems to fail out there. What would you attribute that to?
It's a very simple robot. We don't have a lot of onboard complexity. It's batteries, speed controller, motor.
Right.
And we designed it to be very fast to maintain, so if we do ever experience problems, we can fix it. An example is we've also discovered we blew a coupler on the motor drive system. That'll take us 4 volts, and unplugging the motor, we can pop it out and have it fixed in a matter of minutes.
Great. Excellent. Get back to work. We'll see you in the labyrinth.
All right.
Now, obviously, a tread rolled off your robot. What are you going to do to repair that? It looks like you're working on it already, actually.
What we're doing is we're removing the knobs. The original plan was to only have the knobs on for the gauntlet to help us climb bricks and paint cans.
Right.
In the maze or the labyrinth, we're going to just go with a flat tread, and that was a part of the original plan. We need to get that tread back on.
Now, a flat tread doesn't seem like it's going to be real effective to me in the labyrinth. Do we disagree on that?
A little bit.
Okay, great.
We'll be able to, first of all, without the knobs, we'll be able to maneuver more smoothly.
Okay.
It may not have quite the traction that the knobs have.
Right.
But then again, we don't have to clear as much rubble.
Got it.
That was the key.
Excellent. Well, good luck. Keep working hard. Amit, that's the story in the pits. Back to you.
Thanks, Dan. He's got big points to make up if he's going to come back. But for now, let's learn a little more about Denominator. Chuck Bagby is a do-it-yourself kind of a guy who likes to build his own stuff, like this recumbent bicycle. But when it came to building a combat-ready robot, he realized he was going to need some extra helping hands. That's why Chuck recruited the best and brightest engineers he knew, the R&D department at Parker Hannifin Aerospace.
In research and development, we get a lot of experience dealing with different types of mechanical components. It gives us a lot of diversity to build from.
Brooke, Chad, and Jeff have all worked with Chuck streamlining the technology that helps airplanes fly. And they took that same approach with their robot.
We very strongly believe in the keep it simple rule of engineering.
Denominator may be a lean machine, but it's also a mean machine. The robot is endowed with amazing traction, thanks to its bare-bones track system that uses banded V-belts driven by custom-milled caster wheels. To support the belts as the robot climbs over obstacles, the resourceful team added these, a row of free-spinning wheels from a skateboard. Now, it's just a matter of mastering how to drive their creation.
Hopefully we'll have 4 or 5 hours driving time in by the time the competition starts.
Denominator's most complex element is also its most subtle, a special skin that covers its aluminum shell.
We'll put an absorption type of layer over our robot that'll consist of foam rubber, compressible foam rubber, and a thin layer of polycarbonate, also known as Lexan.
The foam rubber core is designed to take the sting out of the mightiest enemy blows.
It absorbs most of the energy, spreads it over a larger area, and causes less damage in the interior of the robot.
Chuck and his team are counting on their minimalist approach to give them maximum impact. But can Denominator dominate the competition? We're about to find out.
Now let's turn our attention to his opponent. He almost made it all the way back in season number 1, but now he is back, and this time it's personal. Let's get in depth with JUGGERBOT 3.0. Mike Morrow's first Robotica experience was a bittersweet affair. JUGGERBOT 1.0 made it all the way to the championship fight to the finish, only to have a fatal encounter with Ram Force and run amok.
Once we got turned sideways, our wheels were pretty much stuck inside of the little channels in his little flipper. When we finally did break free and we had full power, that's when we went flying off.
It's a very delicate situation. Oh, JUGGERBOT is off the edge!
With that moment burned into his memory, Mike was determined to get his team working on a bigger and badder robot. But there was a hitch. Teammates Sharon and Chris Gatman split off to build another Robotica contender, LOGOSEYE.
We don't really know what they're up to, so it'll be interesting to see when we get there what their robot looks like and what it's capable of.
The rivalry inspired Mike and his remaining teammates to work even harder. Their key to succeeding was building this, JUGGERBOT 2.5, whose only purpose is to act as a prototype for 3.0.
We made a lot of upgrades in material selection and in design.
That includes 4 WCMS motors, overvolted for 70% more pushing power, and geared at a thrust-to-weight ratio greater than the space shuttle at liftoff.
Our drivetrain is very rock solid now.
Solid, yet unusual, because instead of direct drive motors, Mike's team used right-angle drives. Their lower profile frees up space for this, JUGGERBOT's massive pneumatic flipper.
This is actually our first robot to incorporate an active weapon.
The all-titanium flipper is powered by custom-built pneumatic actuators that give it some serious kick.
The weapon is very violent, and our goal is really to throw somebody out of the ring before the walls drop.
Mike is counting on his weapon to give JUGGERBOT just the edge it needs to keep it from going over the edge this year.
JUGGERBOT 3.0 has a sizable lead on Denominator, but that could all change in this next event. It's called The Labyrinth, and here's how it goes. 6 challenges guard 6 glass panes. The tougher the challenge, the more points the pane of glass is worth. Smash through them all and get past the gates to the final pane, and the bonus points are yours. And watch out for the Robotica rats, because they're coming for you.
Let's go down to Dan Danknick, who is standing by.
Thanks, Tanya. What can't JUGGERBOT do? Mike Morrow can turn his bot on a dime and should have little trouble blasting through the obstacles in the labyrinth. But one place he might run into trouble is the suspension bridge. Because JUGGERBOT is so wide, he has to drive very carefully. If he slips off the bridge, he's going to get stuck. Although Denominator is slower and more controllable, JUGGERBOT has a major speed advantage, so this event is JUGGERBOT's to lose. Back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Chuck Bagby's Denominator is pulling in on the left, and Mike Morrow's JUGGERBOT 3.0 is on the right. Everyone is in position. We're ready to go. Robotica, it's on.
Robots ready.
And the labyrinth begins. Denominator takes JUGGERBOT on, gets right under it. Pushes him up into the corner. Oh, JUGGERBOT hanging on for dear life here. Denominator shifting around. Now JUGGERBOT gets free. He's fast out of the turntable. He wants to score some points and get out of here in one piece. Turning towards the spikes. Here's the JUGGERBOT cam. Good timing and 15 points ahead.
Amit, that glass is deceptively flexible. You can't push it out of the way. You have to smack it. And it looks like competitors have learned that from last season.
JUGGERBOT turns away from the bridge. Decided it's too risky. He's headed back through the turntable. The rats are out, and Red's giving JUGGERBOT some trouble in the center of the arena. And there's Denominator getting stuck by the speed bump, it looks like. And now he's having trouble with the saloon doors.
He got rid of those cleats, but with his tread still leading, pushing is difficult.
JUGGERBOT fights off Randy McGratterson. Looks like he's going for the box, sticking to the low point obstacles early.
Good strategy. He had a big lead after the gauntlet. He just wants to avoid mistakes.
Ah, yes, he pushes that box like it ain't no thing. Here's the JUGGERBOT cam. 15 more points. Beautiful. JUGGERBOT 3.0 is putting on a show. Now Denominator is going for the bridge, but the gray rat's blocking him. He's getting turned sideways. He better be careful.
He should be able to climb out with that tread design, but Amit, I think the rat may be stuck. That leading caster wheel is off the edge of the bridge, and its back wheel isn't getting traction.
Denominator looking a bit lost there, and JUGGERBOT is lining up the ramp. Good timing for JUGGERBOT, though. 20 more points are hit.
Getting back across is the tricky part. Normally JUGGERBOT's bimodal, but his glass breaker takes that away.
Denominator's still struggling at the back speed bumps. Dan, you told me tread designs were all about climbing. Dan!
Ideally they are, but now we see why Chuck Bagby added those cleats last event. His bare treads have no grip of their own. You can actually see them spinning there against the speed bumps.
Dan's a genius. JUGGERBOT at the sand now. Into the pit and no trouble getting through. Oh, yeah! But the glass doesn't break for him until it does. There it is. 25 more points for JUGGERBOT. 2 obstacles left. Denominator onto the speed bumps now and stopped cold.
He was unable to climb over, and when he tried to straddle that speed bump, it was just the right height to high center him, Amit.
Chuck Bagby and his teammate are struggling, but no movement from Denominator, just spinning those treads. Here goes JUGGERBOT over the speed bumps, getting bounced a bit. A look through the JUGGERBOT cam as we go through the saloon doors. Looks like he's headed toward the rollers. JUGGERBOT is outright owning this event. We could be looking at a clean sweep here. He's through the wrecking balls, and the glass is his. 25 more points. The bridge is all that's left.
It was the only danger spot for him coming into this event, and he avoided it earlier. Let's see if he's going to risk it now.
He'll have to snake around Denominator first, and I guarantee you that axe is working, even if he isn't. JUGGERBOT bumps into him. Oh, but he gets by without knocking Denominator loose. He is going for the bridge, but the gray rat is still in the way.
That bridge isn't wide enough to slip by. He'll probably have to push the rat onto the platform with him.
Oh, and over the top of the rat. He's nailed the last blast. Can he get back out? There you see Tom Ferretti trying to line it up. And there's the siren. Here goes JUGGERBOT. He's across and over the rat. He's going to have to push his way past, and now he's in line with the turntable. Oh, love JUGGERBOT. Big H is straight ahead. 30 final points for completing the sweep. And he's done it! JUGGERBOT, a magnificent performance here in the labyrinth. JUGGERBOT 3.0 going on to the fight to the finish.
Amit, after the early attack failed, the Denominator had no tricks left in his bag. JUGGERBOT had plenty, and he used them all to make a statement here in the labyrinth.
And we've got our first competitor in the fight to the finish. Check out the score. JUGGERBOT 3.0 takes it from Denominator, 150 to zilch. Tanya's down on the floor with the winner right now.
All right, here we have Mike Morrow and his team, JUGGERBOT 3.0. Now, you got what an amazing round of competition. I got to start off by saying, right at the beginning, the turntable. Your opponent, Denominator, attacked you.
And that's what I would have done in their situation, too. But we were a little nervous because they had the potential to flip us over, and with the rod to break the glass, we would have been in trouble upside down.
But they didn't.
No, fortunately. And we managed to squeeze out before they could do any more damage.
Now, I have to tell you, I don't know if you know this, but this is the first time ever 150 points to nothing. You
Nice
demolished them.
Good driving, Tom.
Yeah, how does that make you feel?
Great, I guess. It was exciting. It was a lot of fun, and it was a lot of running around the outside of this thing, too. I think I got more exercise doing this than I have, well, the last 3 months we've been building this robot.
Let's talk about the events of the course.
Our goal was to get at least 3. That was really our minimum standard. Once we had 3, then we were feeling pretty good and started picking up other ones. We were nervous about the sand, but that turned out to be just like when we play in the dirt with the robot at home.
And then what about the rollers? You guys sailed right through those rollers. Unbelievable.
Yeah, we were nervous about that at first.
We thought we'd get caught up quite a bit more on those, and I actually didn't power through as fast as I expected I would need to, and it still went through. So I think, again, we just kind of got lucky on the draw there.
It was a good setup. It was a good setup on the part of Tom driving. He just got set up right and took it.
Well, break a leg, you guys, and we are moving on to the fight to the finish.
Thanks.
With one labyrinth down, the scores look like this. Juggerbot dominates Denominator 240-20, and with their labyrinth coming up, LOGOSEYE leads DeClaw 80-70. We've still got tons more Robotica to come. I believe the appropriate measurement for awesome robot competition is in metric tons, to be precise, and thank you. So we've got plenty of those. DeClaw and LOGOSEYE will take on the labyrinth when we come back. So stick around. Robotica will be right back. It's metric tons of fun. Welcome back to Robotica. Juggerbot just took the labyrinth from Denominator in a clean sweep, 150-0. So he'll be advancing on to the fight to the finish.
The Robotica semi-final season goes like this. 24 robots compete, 4 per episode. At the end of each competition, only 1 robot is left. That bot moves on to the finals at the end of the season.
We've begun that journey, so it's time to check in with Dan Danknick, who is awesome. He's down on the pitch right now with our battle-bruised pilgrims. Dan?
Thanks, guys. Well, a surprising upset out there in the gauntlet. Let's see what's going on with LOGOSEYE. Chris lost a little control up there, but the labyrinth is all about control. What are you going to do?
That was a meatware problem. I got excited and tripped over some cables or something. I don't even know what happened. So next thing I knew, the robot went flying off as I stumbled.
So you're going to watch your footing a little bit more for the labyrinth then?
Yeah, I haven't seen the labyrinth course yet, so I don't know how much running,
Right.
But that's definitely something that we'll have to be doing is watching where we're going.
Your former Juggerbot teammates, what did you think about their performance earlier?
Great run. They need to fix their wedge again.
Okay.
And they had a great run.
Excellent.
So.
Well, good luck, get to work, and good luck out there.
Thanks a lot.
Now, this is an interesting robot. Dave, I think a lot of us are just wondering how in the world this robot gets over anything, much less the bricks of the gauntlet.
Well, a lot of its features is that it vibrates so badly that it bounces over everything.
Right, well, check this out. I want you guys to take a look at this. These are the interleaved legs of the claw. And the way they work is a lot like the way your feet move when pedaling a bicycle crank. Dave, what sort of maintenance does it take to maintain a walking robot compared to, say, one with wheels?
Well, actually, the mechanism is very simple because the motor drives the crank directly, so there's no gears, belts, pulleys.
That's brilliant. So there's a lot less maintenance, is what you're saying.
No, the only problem is it wears its feet out in about 5 minutes.
So you're putting some new shoes on DeClaw, and you're going to get ready for the labyrinth.
Well, we don't have enough time for that, but we're going to go for the labyrinth anyway.
Okay, great. Well, good luck out there. That's the story in the pits. Back to you guys.
Thanks, Dan. It's time to get personal with the handybot called DeClaw. For most competitors, building robots is a hobby. But for Dave Hall, it's an expression of his artistic vision.
I see them as an opportunity like a poet or a painter does with a picture. They're physical creations of what I think.
Being a visionary is something that comes naturally to Dave. He is the founder of Velodyne Acoustics, a multi-million-dollar company that manufactures high-end stereo speakers.
The advantage I have is actually several-fold. One, I have any reasonable resource I have available to me, both in manufacturing and engineering. And the second is my background, is that I'm able to engineer things that are state-of-the-art in both electronics and mechanically.
Helping Dave out are ace engineers Chris Calloway and Steve Shonk. So far, they have spent $18,000 creating what they believe is the perfect robot, DeClaw. What makes this bot so unique is its innovative drive system.
Our drive system is a walking mechanism which employs little feet that move up and down and back and forth, a total of 4 on each side. So the robot scurries along, carried on its feet. And the inspiration of this mechanism came from the old-time steam locomotives where these operate like the sidebars that link the drive wheels together on a steam-type locomotive.
After months of planning, it's time for a test drive, or in this case, a test walk.
Out to the parking lot we go.
Thundering along at speeds of up to 30 miles per hour, the feet also give the bot a greater contact area, which should result in better traction and mobility. Although Dave has spent countless hours designing the claw, he knows that sometimes things can go wrong.
Well, this switch doesn't work anymore. You really only have one shot at success or failure, and the robot has to perform.
He's having a little trouble here, but we're about to see how well he does in the labyrinth.
Now, we haven't seen that claw come out yet, but I'm betting we will. Now, let's turn our attention to his opponent, LOGOSEYE. A person can go stir-crazy in a rainy, sun-deprived town like Troutdale, Oregon. That's one reason Chris Gatman and his friends started a rock and roll band.
Practicing as often as we can has turned into therapy for all of us.
Chris has also found another heavy metal hobby, building robots. Chris is a Robotica veteran thanks to his tour of duty in Season 1 on Team JUGGERBOT.
We all brainstormed, and everybody had different ideas, and I wanted to try out ideas myself.
By adding new ideas to his JUGGERBOT experience, Chris came up with this: 210 pounds of metallic fury known as LOGOSEYE. But it hasn't been easy.
Designing a robot myself has been really unnerving at times.
But luckily, he's had many helping hands, including his musician friends.
We all know how to combine our skills to make something work, and whether it's music, and I have no doubt that the robot will be the same.
LOGOSEYE boasts massive pushing power thanks to 4 independent 24-volt motors with custom-built gearboxes. But what'll send enemies running for cover is LOGOSEYE's sinister weapon system. First, a front-mounted wedge will lift competitors off the ground.
The trick is not to get them up on top, but to make them lose their traction.
Then they'll be at LOGOSEYE's mercy as they face a whirling 7-inch carbide-tipped saw blade.
I would like to just gut them out, cut their wiring, cut their wheels, everything else that I can while they're sitting there.
Chris is cutting edge all the way, whether it's robots or music.
It's gonna be total rock and roll.
LOGOSEYE and DACLAW are separated by a mere 10 points, but all that's about to change because it's time once again for the labyrinth. 6 panes of glass, 6 challenges, 2 rats, 2 competitors, and 150 points hang in the balance.
Let's go down to Dan Danknick, who is standing ringside.
Thanks, Tanya. The claw is totally unique because of his mechanical feet. He'll seem to float over the course. But what's going to happen when DACLAW meets DACargo rollers? He might have to grab onto the wrecking ball in order to pull himself along. And what about LOGOSEYE? He's had driving problems all day, which could hinder him from exploiting DACLAW's weakness. DACLAW is the first walker to ever try to tame the labyrinth. If he's up to the challenge, he might just find himself in the fight to the finish. Back to you.
Thanks, Dan. Dave Hall's DACLAW is walking in on the left, and Chris Gatman's LOGOSEYE has driven in on the right. We're ready to do this thing. It's time to go, go, go!
Robots ready.
Turntable moving, and we already got a confrontation. A rumble in the turntable. Nice. Looks like DACLAW is the aggressor here. LOGOSEYE just trying to get away. DACLAW goes hard off the wall, and now he's got position. He pushes LOGOSEYE towards the rat gate. You can see it in the LOGOSEYE cam. The rat gate gets knocked down. The robot pushed back into the turntable.
But if DACLAW can get a hold of LOGOSEYE's bumper, he may try to flip him by raising that arm.
LOGOSEYE not letting DACLAW get position, and the rats are out. You can see DACLAW's gripper opening as they continue to jostle in the center area here. They circle each other. Oh, and now they both retreat, almost like they agreed on it. The fight wasn't working. It's time for points. Dave Hall works DACLAW over the speed bumps. Gray Rat moves in. Here's LOGOSEYE heading for the corner with the sand and the flip ramp. He wants to extend that lead now, put this match away early. He's turning toward the sand. The Claw is at the spikes, trying to get the timing. Here he goes. He gets turned a little bit, and he gets 15 points.
Dave Hall still with those steering difficulties. That doesn't bode well.
LOGOSEYE goes into the sand. He's spinning his tires some. Oh, it looks like he's stuck. LOGOSEYE is wedged in the corner, Dan.
This would surprise me if they can't get out. These are former JUGGERBOT guys. This is a similar machine, and JUGGERBOT had no trouble with this obstacle.
The Claw is trying to get back out from the spikes. He's across, and it looks like the Gray Rat is going to give him some trouble. He's working past the speed bumps. I love how that thing moves. It looks like he's got no ground clearance, but he climbs over everything. It's sweet. No trouble going across the bridge either. He turns. 20 more points. Nicely done. And he sails back across. Cool robot. LOGOSEYE still beached.
This is incredible. Chris Gatman's robot is the perfect design for this challenge. Four-wheel drive, big tires, but he somehow dug himself a rut.
The Claw's trying to get himself in position for the rollers, it looks like. There's Dave Hall on the controls. He's taking the overall lead, and it looks like he is without competition at this point.
Well, for the second game in a row, Dave can concentrate on driving practice. He was having troubles last round, and from the looks of it, he's still having some problems.
He gets another 25 points, Dan, but you're right. It looks like he's hitting all the walls.
This is a robot which clearly shows its engineering. That claw certainly looks impressive, even though we haven't gotten to see it in action. And that shuffle walk system can move the claw close to 30 miles an hour. But speed without control is nothing. This is much needed practice time for Dave Hall.
He already seems to be getting better as he knocks the box out of the way. He turns at 15 points. 2 obstacles left, the flip ramp and the sand.
And LOGOSEYE is still blocking the sand. He'll get penalized those points if the claw can't get by.
Here comes the Red Rat mixing things up. The Claw gets by, still not using that weapon. I wonder if it's even functioning correctly. Dave and his partner seem to be lining up the flip ramp first.
This is critical, Amit. If you have driving trouble here and get turned sideways, you don't get a second chance.
He hesitated, but he still made it safely across, and he gets 20 more points. Impressive move by the Claw. Now can he get back out? He's got the timing. He's across. Dave really getting the feel of those controls. Nice move. The Gray Rat gets in a bump. Now it looks like he's aiming toward the sand. He's got just the right angle to squeeze by. Almost up the wall, and he's through. We may get a clean sweep here. 25 more points for the Claw. Nice. That's the last obstacle. There's the siren. Only the bonus pain remains. He's being careful not to bump LOGOSEYE loose here. And he's through again. This has been an amazing show by Dave Hall. The Claw is through the saloon doors, and at the final gate, he takes a shot. No time.
This is where the Claw's ground clearance may hurt him. You can see a slight incline leading to the gate. That forces the Claw's leading edge to hit the gates at their lowest part, right at the pivot point, which gives Dave Hall's robot no leverage to push them over.
He backs up for the last run. Time's going to run out on him here. I can't make it. There's the buzzer. The sweep will go uncompleted, but still a spectacular performance by Dave Hall's team. He'll be moving on to the fight to the finish.
LOGOSEYE went for the big points early and got stopped. This opened the door for Dave Hall and DeClaw to reach in and clear out the labyrinth. And in an incredible feat of engineering, DeClaw's feet handled the sand better than LOGOSEYE's wheels. The only rough spot came at the gates, where DeClaw's insufficient leverage kept him from the big points.
And we've got a match for the fight to the finish. DeClaw has beaten LOGOSEYE. Shit. Here are the scores. It's DeClaw with 120 points over LOGOSEYE with 0. Tanya's down right now with the winner. Tanya, how are things?
All right, here we have David Hall and his team representing DeClaw. Now, I got to know, what was going on in the turntable?
Well, our strategy, we thought our only chance of winning this was to disable the robot, so we attacked it as vigorously as we could with our claw.
Oh, what is the secret of your surprising power?
With the claw?
Yeah.
Well, we wanted to exercise it, so we wanted to see how it would do in combat.
But we didn't even really get to see it, though, a whole lot. I mean, it's there, but we didn't get to see it in action.
What, the whole thing? Well, we only have 2 of the fingers working at the moment.
And this is how you work it. You kind of...
This is how we work it. When I move this up and down, then the claw moves up and down in real time.
Okay.
When I move this fork, it moves.
Very interesting. Okay. Tell me about the actual event, going through the course. What was your strategy right from the beginning?
Well, we were praying that he would disable himself, and that was our strategy, which worked well.
It did work well. Now, your bot, it looks like it's a little bit teeter-tottery there. It doesn't always look like it's on stable ground. What's that about?
Well, that's actually a counterbalance so that when if we could use the arm to pick someone up, the weight balance would be proper for the leverage. So it's been modified strictly to operate as a crane.
But it's okay, even if it is like that. You guys, he's still so powerful, and he's an amazing, amazing machine.
Well,
Great job.
If I wasn't able to pull the front end up on the ground, I couldn't get over these obstacles.
But you did.
But I'm able to pull a wheelie, and that gives me the advantage of getting over these obstacles.
And that's the difference between the feet and the wheels.
Yes, well, we don't have enough ground clearance, as it turns out, but we get around that by doing wheelies.
Well, you do. Congratulations! Great job! You're going on to the fight to the finish.
And here we go. It's all been decided. DeClaw and Juggerbot 3.0 are going head-to-head in an all-out battle.
The fight to the finish is around the corner. Robotica gets intense in a moment.
Robotica. Robotica is back. And we've got a great match with a fight to the finish. Juggerbot 3.0 took the gauntlet with ease, and the labyrinth with style.
Only 10 points separated LOGOSEYE and DeClaw after the gauntlet, but DeClaw made his presence known in a triumphant labyrinth.
The two stories from the pits could not have been more diametrically opposed. The Juggerbot veterans, without a single scratch on their bot, had only to add their pneumatic flipping weapon.
I want enough pressure that we can toss this guy.
Dave Hall's team, however, already knew that DeClaw's weapon was inoperable. To make matters worse, the robot's walking plates were losing their grip.
We only get about 5 minutes of run time, burns out the end of the feet. So now we're on bare metal now.
Not having traction in the fight to the finish is a death sentence. Then again, so is not having a weapon.
So you'll work on the arm, then I'll take the feet.
With Team Juggerbot turning up the heat while their opponents struggle just to be functional, the clear edge in the fight to the finish has to go to Mike Morrow.
From four mighty robots to the two strongest of the bunch, it's time to separate the cream from the rest of the crop. And to do that, we'll put them on our fight to the finish platform and let them battle it out. Here's how it works. Two robots enter this elevated platform high above razor-sharp spikes and blazing torches. Then they'll battle it out for 1 minute. After that, the safety gates fall down, and one bot barrels over the side while the other one barrels into the finals. The contestants have taken their places in the skybox. Dave Hall and Mike Morrow stand with their teammates ready for battle. Here comes DeClaw. He's had his problems, but was still very impressive in his win. We know the gripping portion of his weapon is working, and his foot pads will last for 5 minutes, which is more than enough time. And here's Juggerbot 3.0. This team has been here before. They know what it takes to win, and their robot has performed flawlessly so far. The robots are on the platform. It's time to see which one can stay there the longest.
Robots ready.
And Juggerbot fast across the ring, slams into DeClaw. Oh, no way! DeClaw's over the rail. This is the fastest fight to the finish on record. Juggerbot only 6 seconds to victory. He almost followed him over, but he hangs on for the win. An amazing performance here in the fight to the finish.
Congratulations! Good job. There you go.
We never actually used the weapon against somebody.
Amit Juggerbot 3.0 was the personification of superior engineering and execution. He came out swinging. Once the claw got turned sideways, Juggerbot's pneumatic flipper did the rest. And he almost followed him over in the shortest fight to the finish yet. DeClaw's feet left the ground before he could get a grip on the situation. An incredible performance from Juggerbot 3.0. DeClaw didn't even have a chance.
And that does it. We've got a winner. Juggerbot 3.0 will be advancing to the Robotica Championship. We'll have more with Mike Morrow when we come back. Robotica. And Robotica is back.
And here we have Mike Morrow and his team representing Juggerbot 3.0. Great job. I have never seen that before. You guys broke a Robotica world record. I mean, did you know that it was only 6 seconds when you knocked the other robot out? 6?
No, I wasn't even counting. We basically, it was better than we were expecting. They have a really good robot. We were fairly scared of them, and they took out our friend LOGOSEYE, and so we wanted to avenge them, but we were also worried about what they could do because that's a pretty powerful walker, especially for a walker. And so we didn't want to waste any time.
Well, you broke a record.
That's
It's going down in the books. And I know that you hit him with everything you had, too.
yeah.
Now, you're involved with the weapons. Tell me about your secret upender weapon.
Well, the upender weapon is a really good, strong, powerful lifter. And our strategy here was we didn't want the gates to go down and drive off again, so we wanted to huck them out before that happened, and it worked out well.
Yeah. Now, how does that work?
Pneumatics. It's all pneumatics, and it's got about 60 degrees of lift, so it's pretty much enough to throw anybody.
And that was one of the modifications that you had made from the Labyrinth.
Right. We added this on from the Labyrinth so that we could just do what you saw.
Okay. What about yourself there?
Well, I would like to take credit for the excellent driving that happened there.
Yes.
Except I didn't have time to do anything. As a matter of fact, when we hit, it kind of got crooked, and then something straightened it out, and Ron hit the button, and they were over, and that was it. And I wasn't even sure we'd started yet.
Well, whatever. It was great. We are moving on to the finals. The fight to the finish, the final round. We will see you there.
And the Melobot moved on to the finals. Be sure to be here next time when 4 more robots will put it all on the line for ultimate robot glory. For Tanya Memme, Dan Dankdick, and myself, Ahmed Zappa, thank you so much for watching. And remember, robots never sleep. Something you should think about. Robotica.